Hi, April is National Poetry Month. Blackout Poetry is an excellent way for our students to create poetry. This video has examples of hard copy blackout poetry. If you'd like to do this with your class, I have plenty of old discarded books that you can use to tear out the pages and have the students create. If you'd like to incorporate that technology component to your lesson, you can have your students create digital blackout poetry and email you their work. Let me show you how to create a digital blackout poetry. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to search for Google Docs. Once you're in Google Docs, you're going to select a blank page. And of course, it is blank. But we need to fill it with words for the kids to do blackout poetry. So we're going to get word or verbiage from a database, one of our GIAN databases. So I'm going to log in to EPISD, ClassLink, and Plaza. And I'm going to search for the EPISD library, e-library. And I'm going to search through TextQuest. You can use EBSCOhost, but I'm going to go through TextQuest. And in TextQuest, I'm going to search for Britannica for middle school. Now, I'm going to search up here for Pat Mora. Many educators know her. She's a great Latina poet, and I think she's very relevant to our student population. So I'm going to search for her. That way they can access Pat Mora's biography. And I'm going to select the verbiage. So I'm going to start at the very beginning. Why is it not doing there? And I'm going to select it all. And I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to paste it in my Google Docs. Then once it's pasted in my Google Docs, I'm going to change the font to Tahoma. I think it's an easier font for kids to read. I'm going to change the font size to 14. And then I'm going to justify the words so that they are at margin to margin. Once I do that, I'm going to delete the paragraphs so that I don't have white space, empty space in my poem. All right, so it eliminates it and gets it down to one page by taking out the paragraphs. Once I do that, of course, we're going to make this whole page black. But when I do that, I go to File, Page Setup, and if I go to Page Color and I go to black, all my words are going to be hidden. It's going to be very hard to create this. So I want to go back to File and Page Setup, and I want to change the color background to maybe a blue. And that way I can see the words, and I can highlight the words that I want to stand out in my blackout poetry. So I am going to select Mexican here, and I'm going to highlight it, and I want to highlight it white so that when I change the background to black, it will be highlighted in white. And then I'm going to select a second word and do the same thing, but that becomes a pain. So there's a shortcut. So I'm going to select the word, I'm going to double click on my paint roller, and then I can click on other words that I want to add to my blackout poetry, like contemporary, Spanish, speaking, teacher. And she also infused elements of creativity to think children. I'm going to do dulce. Oops. Dulces. me see. Hold on. I want to change that back to the blue. What? Okay, change that back to the blue. And then I want to just select my paintbrush again. And I just want dulce. And then I want to multiculturalism. Okay, oops. Let me undo that last one I did. And let me take off my paintbrush because then otherwise it's going to highlight other things. So there's my short poem on what I want to use for Blackout Poetry. And then I want to go to File and Page Setup. And I want to change the color to black so it eliminates all the other words. And it just has my Blackout Poetry highlighted. So I have this word that's linked. All I would do is click on it and remove the hyperlink so that it turns black. Then I have these that spell check is checking and saying, there's a problem here. So I want to click on it and I want to ignore all. All right, so then there's my Blackout Poetry. Our students can get super creative with Blackout Poetry, even digitally. They can insert images into their document, and let me show you how. So if I go to search blue and white grizzly clip art, I'll get all this clip art here. So I want to go to images, and I have this clip art here. But in order to use images, you really need to make sure that they're free to use. So you would go to Filters and License and Free to Use and Share. And here's a good grizzly. So I'm going to import this guy into, I'm going to save it on my desktop as grizzly. And I've already saved one, so it's going to ask me if I want to replace it, and I do. So it's saved to my desktop. So then I go back to my document and I go to Insert an Image, and I want to upload it from my computer. Okay, but if I do this, it's going to insert it at the very beginning of my document, and that's not really where I want it. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to copy it and then delete it. I'm going to go to the middle of my document, let's say about here, and I'm going to paste it in there. Once I do that, then I want to format my image and go to Image Options, and I want to wrap the text around my image. So now I can make my grizzly bear in the center of my document, and the text is all around it. Okay? The students will get real creative with this. If you just show them the basic of how to do it, boy, they'll take off with it. So then what I'm going to want to do, because I'm probably going to want the whole background white and the face to stand out, and the words in my poem to stand out in a blue option. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my my words that I want. Let's see, no, I'm going to select my background. So I'm going to go to File and Page Setup, and I'm going to select the background to be like a blue. Then I'm going to select all the words and make them white so that they're the color of the page. Then what I'm going to do is select the words that I want to be in my poem, and I'm going to make those particular words blue, that color of blue. So I'm going to go, and you can do the same thing here. Sorry, I didn't select the word. You can do the same thing here that you did for the highlighting. Select the word, it gives you the color. Come to the paintbrush, select the paintbrush twice, and then you can select your other words, and it will make them that blue color as well. Okay, so you get the idea. Once you do that, then you're going to want to go to Page Setup and change the background color to white. And then their poem will be like so, across the page with the grizzly in the middle. So I hope your kids can have fun with this. I would really love you to share your students' work with me via email if it's a digital copy, or via a student if it's a hard copy, so that we can display it in the library. Kids love to see their work, and I would love to display it in the library. All right, thanks. I hope you have fun with this.